Whatever it is that you want requires this one thing. You have to stand out. And this is how you do it energetically, because you can be doing all the things in the physical, but without doing the energetic side, nothing is going to change. Because girl, right now you're blending in, and whatever you want relies on you standing out, being different, being you. It requires the world to see your energetic signature, whether it's relationship, business, friendship, whatever it is, your uniqueness is required to achieve it. Because how are those vibey clients going to know that you're the one for them if you're the same as everybody else? How are those friendships and relationships going to find you if when people meet you, they don't see your uniqueness? How are they going to find you if you blend in with everybody else, if you're just one of the crowd? Now, I don't know if this is just me. Let me know in the comments. Have you noticed in recent years just how the same everything has become? People talk the same. They think the same. They wear the same clothes. Their houses are decorated the same. And we were always hardwired to fit in with our group. And it made sense from a survival perspective. You know, belonging to a group is essential for protection, access to resources. And our brain still sees this social connection and acceptance as a vital need. But the problem we've got now is that the group is encompassing anybody in the world through algorithms, through social media. There are so many people jammed into your social media algorithm that this group becomes so far removed from what it was that required us fitting in for survival. Now we are seeing iteration after iteration of the same kind of person again and again and again, and a copied cookie cutter again and again. It's just not the world we were designed for. It's so unhealthy and it's so energetically draining. But the ones who stand out make a difference. They're the ones building their lives, building their businesses, building the futures and changing the futures for their children. You know, embracing your uniqueness. And you have to do this to get what you want. Whatever that is, you have to embrace you being uniquely you. If you want something different, you're going to have to do something different. And to do something different, you have to be different. And I'm not talking from a business perspective about niching. I'm talking about you as a person, as a holistic, energetic being, making it safe to be really you, to be the truth of who you are. Because you don't have to change. You don't have to change who you are. You just have to take off the layers that are everything that you're not. And we are all unique. Anybody could do this. Just most people choose not to. Because it's uncomfortable, it pushes the edges of what feels good and it pushes us into new territory. It's expansive. But I'm going to explain what not doing this does to your energy and what to do about it in just a minute. But first, let's take the social media trends. So one person will make a video that's kind of funny and then other people will just lift it, rip it off and make it exactly the same as the person before them. The trending audios where everybody's playing the same song to represent the same thing. Everything's just becomes so overdone and so same and so monotonous. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been there. I've done trends on social media. I've used trending audios, but I just couldn't get behind it. Energetically, I could not get behind it. I don't even like to consume short form social media, and I haven't yet found a way to enjoy creating it. But, you know, girls trying. Now, I've been aware of this trait in myself for quite a while, but recently the energetics have just ramped up so far. Even things like style and fashion trends. Everything's just become so copy-paste. It makes me feel physically uncomfortable to look at it. Rather than people looking at things and saying, you know, I like that concept. How can I apply it to myself? How can I apply this to my own style? How can I bring this into my reality in a way that's unique to me? They're just copying and pasting. You know, like, shop the link in my bio. This outfit, it's all linked for you to buy the exact same thing and be the same as me. As always, there is nuance. We learn things from copying other people. It's one thing that I love seeing. As a mum, I have 2 small children, and seeing my youngest copy and learn from my eldest is so funny. Like some things, she will just completely copy his intonation. She'll copy the words that he says, and it's really funny and it's really cute. But understanding that this is how we learn. And also, if I give the children the same toy but separately, they will choose to use it in 2 completely unique different ways, in ways that I hadn't even thought of. They are so connected to their creativity and to their own desires and the way that they uniquely want to play with it. They're not influenced by each other. They're influenced by how I want to do this. They are so full of their own ideas. And I love watching this development unfold in real time. I always say my children are my biggest teachers. I've learned so much from them. And so there is always this interplay of taking inspiration and weaving it into who you already are, seeing what's possible in the world, and then taking a stand for your own desires and seeing you instinctively want to do something without any outside influence and doing it. To say, I'm doing it my way. Especially in this age of constant input, we need a really consistent, solid base of who we are. And to know ourselves from the outside, to separate ourselves from what's going on around us. And this is so true when it comes to energy work. I cannot advocate one bit for any healing modality that teaches you must do this, you must use this exact formula, you must do these hand motions, you must do it like this, and this, and not deviate from the plan. It just doesn't work like that. And none of my sessions are like that. None of my teachings are like that. I have actually one of my favourite teachers. She is incredibly knowledgeable. And she will sometimes say in response to a question, oh, I don't know the exact answer. Here are the principles. This is what I'd try. I know that your work is different to mine. What do you think? Can you let me know what happens? And this is also how I teach. This is how I work with my clients. Based on principles, based on the last decade of my work as a psychic energy practitioner and intuitive coach, teaching women to become their own self-energy healer and coach themselves. And it is so fun to share with others who do this. You know, being told that you must do this X, Y, Z a certain way and there is no deviation from it. It's just not it. It's just not how it works. And so coming back to this process of standing out, being different, being who you truly are requires so much self-trust. It requires reliance on your own intuition. It requires an open, creative channel, which honestly, so many people have shut down in themselves. You know, maybe from our teen years, maybe being bullied, maybe having to fit in. The bullies are easier on you if you're not noticeable. Then go into the workplace and you have to conform to the dress code. You have to conform to the personality that's required to be there. And even when we have our own businesses, the rules of how we're supposed to show up on social media, how to present so you get most clicks and being professional and being seen to be a professional person, it makes everything so rigid and so same and so deviated from who you truly are. Now, full disclosure, I am still in this process, massively still in this process when it comes to online work. I find it so much easier just to be who I am in person rather than sitting here in front of a camera. Online, I still feel this constraint from the rules of how your videos must be seen or how your posts must be seen. And it's something that I'm still working through. It's so easy to get sucked in online because of all these rules, because we want our work to be seen. We want to get out there in front of the people who need our help and who need to see us. So I think it's really important to talk about this nuance piece because there really is nothing that is truly brand new. And not everything we do can be a never seen before, one of a kind, original piece of work. And we also don't want copy paste. Now, I'm going to reference the work of author Austin Kleon. I hope I'm saying that right. And you might have heard of the concept of stealing like an artist. But in order to do this, in order to steal like an artist, you have to become the artist of your own life first. You have to become and actually be the artist, the creator of your own life. What steal like an artist means is that all creative work builds on what came before it. And that nothing is entirely original. And I love that. That is incredible that we get to work with and from these great predecessors, all the things that came before us in all the walks of our life, in all types of work. We get to build on what came before us because we're not starting from a place of scratch. It involves collecting, remixing, and transforming existing ideas, techniques, tools, and alchemizing them into something completely new rather than copy and paste it. It's about studying and learning from, not copying. And it's about acknowledging these influences and then creating something new with them, deciding what's out there and what works with my existing self. It's also massively about broadening your experiences so that you have so much more to choose from, so that you become truly unique, that your goals and desires become what you actually want to have in your life. You know, a lot of the problem is that people are consuming the same thing, an increasingly curated algorithm. So in one scrolling session, they might see 400 different matcha and Pilates 5 a.m. girls and then think that that's the standard, think that that's normal, think that's the only option available for them. And that if they're not doing that, then they're failing. And don't even get me started on AI and the homogenization that AI is creating. I definitely have to talk about this in another video, but it will have to be another video because otherwise I'm not going to get to today's energy ritual. But this is what makes the rebel part of what we're doing here so much more pertinent, because most people are not doing this. Most people are copying and pasting. Most people letting chat models dictate what goes on in their life. If everybody strived for originality, and not originality for the sake of it, but simply choosing and curating the elements of their life based on things that they actually like, that they actually genuinely enjoy, from a place of being in their own energy and healing the imprints that close that part off. And it's a process, but it's about allowing in those small elements that feel truly you. And yes, we're taking inspiration, but it's about connection to the true self and discovering what we really, truly enjoy and who we really, truly want to be and what we want to experience. So we need to get into the energetics of copying and pasting, directly copying, and why people do this. Now, there is a social media YouTube teacher who I love. Her name's escaped me. I'm going to pop her up on the screen because she's lovely. And she recently posted that not one but two people had made absolute direct copies of her last YouTube video, down to the principles that she was teaching inside it and the format of the video, the title, everything was just directly copy and pasted. And looking at these two videos, the energy felt so off. It wasn't there, it wasn't aligned, and it's almost eerie in a way. And I find this mind-blowing. I find it mind-blowing that people are able to do this. But the reason people do this is because they lack direct connection to themselves. They lack connection to their own intuitive channel. They lack connection to their own creativity and their own heart energy. So the only option they have is to copy and paste. And so many people are doing this. Because if they had a truly aligned heart energy, they would not be able to copy and paste. It would feel so energetically mismatched to them when they tried to do it. It would not be possible for them to do it. Frequently, it would feel so off. But they're so disconnected from themselves, all that they can do is copy. So on the most basic of levels, all we have to do is get in true connection with ourselves, with our heart energy. And on the surface, that sounds like such a small thing to do, but it's about alchemizing the beliefs that we have that have held us apart from this energy, that have, separated us from that, added the layers onto us that are not our truest expression. In general, people are so disconnected from their own energy and their own divine guidance. They're so quick to outsource their power to something outside of them. They're so quick to think that somebody else knows better than they do. And they are living their life just grabbing what they can from outside because they lack this internal abundance. They aren't accessing the creative abundance that is there in droves for them, that is absolutely unlimited. Once you tap into this creative center, once you tap into your heart energy, there is no limit on the amount of creativity and abundance that will come flowing through you. So the focus needs to be shifted back onto how can I be more me? How can I access my originality? And I'm not saying I'm immune from this. I've been there. I've bought some content templates. I've done the trending sound and added them together, and it hasn't worked because it has not been aligned to my frequency. I've even done stuff since, I've seen an outfit on someone and thought, oh, that looks really nice. I'll buy that dress. And I put it on myself and it's just not me. And it was like I was wearing somebody else's energy. So I sent that back to the shop. I did not want to feel like that. But this is our era of actually, just fuck it. Because to copy and paste goals, to copy and paste who we are, to copy and paste manifestations, to copy and paste what I'm told I should do by society. This work, it's a lifestyle. Doing this, becoming more of who you truly are, it's a lifestyle. It's not 2 weeks. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's like if somebody was to go on a diet with their food and all they ate was chicken and broccoli for 2 weeks straight, it would have the desired effect, maybe. However, it's not sustainable. And this is exactly the same. It's not a quick fix solution. It's about changing things in our lives in a way that's going to last, and in a way that's going to be meaningful, and in a way that's going to feel so good. And it's going to feel so good 10 years from now. It's going to feel so good 20 years from now. Not just being stuck on this cycle of never enough and what's next and what quick fix can I pick now. And the problem with this, it relates back to this copy-paste attitude. The attitude of, she's got it, I want it, give it to me now. Rather than that true deep connection to self, the real desires, who am I at the core of my being? But what this boils down to, this copy-paste, this having to have things immediately, this wanting the shortcuts, it's a lack of self-confidence, it's a lack of self-esteem, it's low energetic acumen. And so to stand out from this sea of sameness, all we have to do is connect with ourselves on a deeper level, to meet the energy in a deeper place, to do the energy work, to do the spiritual self-coaching, to alchemize the imprints that are preventing that. And we step into our truth. And as we step into our truth, we also teach our children to step into their truth. We also allow this ripple effect to come out from us and to ripple out into our world and into our space. So in combating this sameness, in being able to stand out in a way that is truly meaningful, there are many layers to this. I've mentioned right throughout this video that there's the heart connection, intuition development, creatively opening ourselves, imprint alchemization. And it's a process, and it takes longer than 2 weeks. But the first thing is to connect with our heart. And even if this is the only thing you do for now, you're going to see such a massive difference. But going deeper than that, it's about looking at what identities you hold, what your core beliefs are, what your values are, what you want your core beliefs to be, which ones are holding you back. This is what I do with clients, and it's what I teach them to do for themselves. And so we're going to start with a ritual that you can learn and you can practice, and it takes about 90 seconds. Now, don't do this if you're driving. Don't do this if it's not safe. Use your own judgment. Use your own discernment. It's going to take about 90 seconds. And first of all, you're going to ground yourself. You're going to create roots from your lowest energy center, from your root chakra, right down into the earth. You're going to drive these roots right down to the center of the earth. You're going to meet the center of the earth and attach those roots. Greet the center of the earth. Give those roots an energetic tug to activate them. And then you're going to close your eyes and you're going to breathe into your heart space. And as you breathe in, you're going to feel the energy filling your heart space. And you need to attune to this energy, not by anybody else, by yourself. You need to attune to what your yes is, and you need to attune to what your no is, and learning how that feels in your heart space. And so for this session, as you connect into your heart, I want you to go to your infinite self and ask, what is she expressing that I am currently not? We're also going to preface everything in this session with, if I did not give one single fuck what anybody else thought, what would I choose? And this applies to everything. This applies to intention setting, to goal setting, to inspired action, to all the things that we're doing. And you know, we might get this question and we might decide to answer ourselves with, I don't know. Especially if you've been doing the books and doing the podcasts and wondering how to get to the next stage. But it really is an invitation to sit with, I don't know. Because it's a protective mechanism. It's something that our subconscious uses to keep us safe. So asking ourselves, if I didn't give one single fuck what anybody else thought, what outfit would I wear to this event? If I didn't give one single fuck what anyone else thought, what business would I start? What new direction would I take with my business? What kind of friendships and relationships would I look for? What activities and hobbies would I do? What would I bring into my life? Listening and attuning and just accepting that what comes up is what's come up. And accept it with curiosity and writing it down. Looking at like, who am I really? Without judgment or fear of what other people think. Who am I? Who am I on the deepest layer of my being? What's unique about me that I hide? Why do I hide it? Who do I have to become to let this part of me take up space? And what identity piece needs to be recognized for this to happen? And this bit, we're going to lean really heavily into some spiritual self-coaching. But what comes up in opposition to this? And really writing down all the things that come up, or voice noting yourself, however you want to do this, letting it all come up and letting it all flow out. And then this can be the basis of your next spiritual self-coaching session. You can start to go in and alchemize that on all 4 layers of transformation, on the body level, on the energy level, the conscious and the subconscious. And then you can do this with all the stolen pieces. We mentioned before, stealing like an artist. Every stolen piece can run through your heart energy. Is that a yes or a no? How does this interweave and meld with my own self, my own creation, my own download? And as you widen your pool of inspiration and take what you legitimately enjoy on a soul level, you can choose to add that strand, weave it in to your own rich, unique tapestry of who you are and what you want to experience. As you do this, you'll become so potent in your energetic frequency. Your energetic blueprint will be so on fire and clean and fresh and just so you. You will stand all the way out. There will be no mistaking you. And if creating things that are truly you and are truly yours is your bag, then you will love this next video on screen about how to create completely you morning rituals. I'll see you there.